folk artist who brought me a stylized painting he did of my book cover. It's a picture of me sitting on the step side of my 1971 Ford F-100 pickup. It's the same truck I drove to high school, college, medical school. I drove that truck all over the great state of North Carolina. I drove that thing until I no longer had the energy to fix it every other weekend. So now that truck graces the cover of my book. And I tell you, it'll be on the front cover of the next one. But that's not the point. The point, folk art. Folk art is a naive form of art. The artist is naive in the sense they're not formally trained. And there was none better than Jimmy Lee Sudduth. Jimmy Lee was an illiterate, poor man of color who grew up in rural Alabama. He grew up in a day when equality wasn't the law, it wasn't a virtue, many said it wasn't a good idea. And it was into this day that Mr. Sudduth entered. His mother worked in a mill. She took him to work one day because there was no other option. The boss man said, "It's too dangerous for him in here, all these belts and pulleys." So she gave him his lunch and let him go, a peanut butter and a honey sandwich. He pulled that sandwich apart and ate the side with peanut butter. The side with honey, he mixed it with mud. And he took that sweet mud and he painted a stick figure in a tree. And that was the first. Mr. Sudduth lived 97 years and painted thousands of pieces of art. And that art today hangs in the Smithsonian. And you can buy his work if you can part with about $1,000. Mr. Sudduth wore simple overalls. His canvas was wood paneling. His medium was mud. His paintbrush was his finger. He died a millionaire. And at day's end, he really didn't care. All he wanted to do was make his art. This is Scott Donaldson, and I'm just saying.